Kuzomari here, back with another video. Give me just a second. I'm gonna post the link to this stream on my social media like I have been. All right, one down. And another one down. All right. Trying a little bit of an earlier time today. I'm gonna be inking some more of Ordinal Tempest. And also talking about some stuff I want to do with the channel. I've been thinking about it ever since last night and watching some other videos. One thing I'm actually going to do today is I have a normal G pen right here that comes default in here. I'm going to click on this so you guys can see this is what I did with it. It's super normal, nothing special. The only thing I'm going to click onto it is random. And then I'm going to click it down a lot so it just gives it a little bit of texture. And this is something you could easily do to any of your brushes. And I'm going to specifically use this brush today, this pen, just so that way when people ask me a lot about my inking pens or something like that, I want to show that the ones that I use are just preference. You have to find your preference. If I give you a pen, which I mean, I'm going to do this eventually, but if I give you a pen and you don't know how to make your own, then, there's going to be a point down the line where, you're not going to know how to make stuff. It's good to know how to do this stuff so you can make your own things, be your own person, Anyways, I'm using a very standard inking pen just to get a point across. Let's and I do want to I want to get some music in here, but I don't want to get any like copyright strikes, so I wouldn't know what to do, like what to play. Oh, because I know some of the stuff that I've used before is things that you have to post the link to whatever you're listening to in the description, like the links that they provide and whatnot. This is going to be interesting. You guys are actually seeing me start inking a page from the very beginning. So you guys get to see me put in these panels, which is extremely simple with Clip Studio. And then let's pull this sketch layer up to the top, back here. Now let's go here and do this stuff. just have that straight, this straight, and all right, throw this away. Oh, just in case you do ink manga or something on Clip Studio and you want to do some of the stuff like get rid of this purple crap, because I hate that being there. Fast way to do it is select all those layers, click this eye, and it says show mask area. Just unclick that box and voila, it's all unclicked. So let's I know some of these I have to expand outwards. So this one, when you have this little box up here, let me see if I got this little box here selected. If you're on a layer, it goes to those layers when you're on these frame layers, and oh darn it, and it lets you edit them. So I'm going to click this arrow and it brings it off to the side. All right, this should be red ink. Although, what is up with that? It's not on the... Huh. Did I do something along the way that messed it up? I'm super confused. Oh, I was not careful enough when doing this, because normally it snaps, but I went over. Okay, now I'm going to have to redo all that. Sorry, guys. It's painful. Let's click this guy. Move that up. Bam. Ready to start inking. All right. In just a second here, guys. I'll be right back in about not even a minute, like 10 seconds. All right, I'm back. Got to start inking here. Let me see something real quick. If you guys have any suggestions, if I'm oh man, I've seen other people play music during their streams and they re-upload it. I don't know if they're gonna get a copyright strike later on or not, but I don't know. Trying to see if I can find something here. Well, whatever. Oh, but all right. Let's see if this is on here good enough. All right. One of the things that so I was thinking last night that how I would be doing my tutorials and just videos in general. Oh, I'm still going to be doing time lapses and stuff, but I was thinking about start doing stream tutorials. Someone else mentioned it, and that's what I was thinking from the very beginning as well. Because darn it, because when you're I think a stream, doing my tutorials in a stream, just having it planned out what I want to do, will be really good because it would be more interactive with you guys, and I would just have to have it planned out to where I know what I want to show you guys, and then be able to answer questions. And I can keep the streams under like 30 minutes or so. So I would just have to show you guys what to do live. It would be raw, and none of that gimmicky stuff where I'm not trying to make crazy quality videos. I'm not a video editor. I can edit videos. I know how to edit videos. All you have to do is learn a program and you know how to edit videos. But that's not what I do per se. I'm an artist first. So I want to deliver you guys art. And I'm still going to be doing time lapses, like I've said, with music to them and stuff. But as for like teaching and discussions and stuff like that and talk about things, I definitely want to start doing streams for that. It would be a lot more interactive. As long as I can control myself and not go too overboard. Just want to make sure I get the inking because I haven't been inking this whole time since the video started. But I'll look at some comments here in a second. But in any case, what are you guys doing? What do you guys do? Do you guys draw? How do you like the sound of what I'm talking about? I would be streaming other stuff too, like inking stuff like this, specific streams like how to do this or how to do that or a certain discussion. And of course, some of it will be like discussions that'll be very, people could throw out their opinions, I'll throw out mine. Everyone has difference in opinion, and opinions change over the years. People change. So, I think that would be fun. This is normally not, I told you guys I was going to ink this with this one pen that I chose, and this is not the normal width I use for backgrounds. So I'm going to change the size. No, not the size because it's already too small. I'll just have to make sure I do the right pressure to try to keep the nice line variant like that, because this thing has a lot of pressure to it. You just got to up your draftsmanship in order to be able to take full advantage of the tools you got. And to do that, you just gotta draw more. That's a simple way of doing it. I mean, you could actually straight up focus on improving your draftsmanship, really pay attention to how you move your hand, how hard you press, try to get your lines like that's how I improve my my draftsmanship. Is I really there was a point where I was just like, man, I something's not right here. And I started paying more attention to what I was doing when I was inking, how much pressure I was putting. But see, when you're not used, like, it depends what level you're at too, because if you're not used to inking, or if you're not, like, you already have anxiety about inking because you think you're going to mess it up or something, um, it's hard to think about so many things at once while you're doing something like that. Like, first, you're thinking about trying to make the proper line, be able to actually get that stroke, you know? And another thing is, I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen that video that's floated around. That's called practice, or I think it's called finish, not perfect. And that's literally everything in the professional field of art. Like, you have to get things finished, and no, it will not always be perfect. Oh, I was like, what is going on here? This is a nasty looking monster. You will see him as I go on. Kind of see him. Make sure I'm not putting in too much detail. It's one thing you want to watch out when you're inking digitally. Like right now, I am in this tiny space of a huge canvas, and even if it's printed like, you know, 8.5 by 11, it's normally printed at a much smaller size than a, you know, a comic book size or something like that. Manga's just generally smaller, and you get some. But yeah, people aren't going to see that detail when you're far away. So you have to know kind of when to stop. I mean, it will give more filler, but when it comes to like deadlines and stuff, it's best to not do too much of that filler detail. Especially if you don't have like assistants or something. All right, I'm gonna look at some comments for here real quick with this. See if there's any in here. Oh, hello. So, John in here. Yeah, you draw. That's cool. Hello guys, and no, I have not used that app yet. Maybe I'll throw in a couple lines if we get far enough in here. Funny thing is, it seems like I actually get more people if I stream a little later. It's interesting. I don't know what that means. One thing I've also noticed is, for some reason, my streams get more views than streams with triple the amount of followers of mine. And I don't know why that is, honestly. I mean, I'm not complaining. I like that. But I don't know. It's not like I get a crap load of views. Especially my live streams normally don't get a whole lot of views to begin with. But I just find it interesting that that's the case. I'm just trying to figure out why and break down on which videos got the most and what's the relation between them. And I don't know, it could be the fact that the whole iPad Pro dealio, because a lot of people are interested in the iPad Pro, so when they see something about it or someone do something on it, you might get someone who clicks on it, so they may not even be watching the whole video. Oh yeah, you guys are gonna see a real quick way to make water. So they're not in normal, she's not in normal water. This is like almost kind of like blood water. So um, it's really dark, and you guys are gonna see how I started doing that water. It's really not that difficult. I was actually worried about doing the water the whole time I was penciling this. I was like, oh crap, man, this water. I honestly, I I don't even know how many times I've drawn water. Like it could have been once, could have been never. Um, I know I've at least attempted it like once, but I don't know if I've. Oh, I remember one time a while ago, but splashing water is different than you can get away with trying not to do a whole lot with actual water if you have splashing water, because then you just make it kind of like all messed up and like, you know, stuff like that. But Should I do it this way or should I do it this way? Let's do it this way just to give it stretching effect with the perspective. But yeah, I recently was watching this video of this guy who does like some podcasts and stuff. He's an artist, and I don't know. I heard his name somewhere, so I went to him, and I don't know. I've heard of artists that kind of act like him, and maybe he's not always like this. Maybe he's just in a bad time in his life or something right now. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. He had some issues. He was just complaining about. He's a pretty good artist too. I mean, like not the best ever, but I honestly think he's better than me. But we have two different styles. But I don't know. I'm not going to mention the person, but I don't know. It comes down to talking about drawing comics or manga, and it's like there's a stigma around it where it's kind of like it's a really demanding job, and is it worth it when you're doing a whole panel that someone's going to be glancing over in less than maybe even a second or two? They're going to look at it and it's going to be done then, you know. That's all. And but yeah, we're spending, like, for example, just put it in perspective with the whole page. If you're spending 4-5 hours on a page, someone's going to glance over that page within, you know, most likely a minute or less. And unless you're like really looking at the art, but some people don't. Some people are really there for just the story and they enjoy the art as they go. They don't just sit there and look at all the detail. The artists may do that, but but yeah, I was talking about if it's worth it or not or stuff like that. And I've thought about how, like, the detail of my work and then how short of time it takes for someone to read over it. But, you know, in the end, that's what makes your story. And it's like, I don't know, I guess it was frustrating to the person. And it's like, basically, you have to really love drawing comics in your own way if you want it to be your living, if you want to make a living out of it without wanting to like destroy yourself. Because when I'm really tired and I've been inking for a long time, like I've been inking since, you know, again, about, I actually didn't stay up all night last night like I was going to. I'm going to stay up all night tonight though. But when I'm really tired and I'm inking and I'm on a deadline, I don't know, I feel alive. Like, and one of the reasons why I believe this is the case is because one of the things that the guy didn't touch on was if it's your own project or not. Because a lot of these people, especially in the comic industry, you end up, if you go to Marvel or something, you're drawing their freaking characters. Who gives a crap about their characters? Like, they need to be have some freaking balls and make new content. That's one of the reasons why anime and manga is growing, because it's not the same dude in tights, all right? Okay, yes, they've started straying away from tights. I know. They've started doing more armor armor-esque stuff, but I don't know. They need to stop and create new things. This is like the worst milking other than Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh that I've ever seen. It's kind of annoying. But yeah, when you're doing your own stuff though, it's kind of like you have a love for it because it's your own. If you get, and that's one of the reasons why I think I can do what I'm doing, because this is a story that it's like it has potential to be, if I work really hard at it, it could have potential to be like on the top best or something. Not saying this one will be. I mean, that would be awesome, but if you did work really hard at it, it could be that type of thing. And you're also trying to just get your story out there, get what you're doing out there, have people see it, entertain them. But I could see how mind numbing it could be to draw someone else's property all the time. Like, that sounds like, uh, I mean, see, I got brought on for a title called Arms of the Dragon. And I was gonna make a joke and be like, and I hate that series. No, I'm kidding. But I actually like drawing that series. It wasn't my original series, but it's not like I'm just sitting here with like getting these scripts and then that's all. Like, I don't know. Like the guys that I work with, we all have a really good relationship. We talk to each other. When I'm done with a chapter, we have a meeting, stuff like that. So it's different with that. Like, and also it's a project that I like doing. But if I was forced to sit here and draw Spider-Man all day, I'm pretty sure I would have a hard time doing that. Though, in the end, it's, I guess I'm also conditioned differently than some of these people because I've done stuff where I thought it was gonna, go somewhere for years before without any payment, and in the past, and I got nothing from it. Yet I still did it while working a crap ton at a shitty job, and you know, I I still did it, and I was working a crappy job, and I wasn't even making a living out of it. So I don't know. I guess I've conditioned myself to know that there's much worse in this world that I could be doing than what I am doing. And I appreciate what I'm doing, even if it does make my brain melt by the end of the day. Too much detail, Chris. Too much detail. God, what are you doing to yourself? Or should we pass this panel by now? They ain't gonna see nothing past that part. How do you guys like this monster? He looks pretty, right? You would give him a kiss. Don't even lie to me. I wouldn't give him a kiss. Let's see if there's any comments here. Yesterday was leg day. They're probably suffering. Is that a thing? Do you prefer, has Clip Studio lag at all? Do you prefer it over Procreate? I like both of them. I've mentioned this a lot, but I like both of them for their own reasons. Clip Studio, does not have very much lag if you're working on normal file sizes, even normal print sizes, especially black and white. But when you have a very big file size, which, just to put it in perspective, like I've said before in some of my other videos, these file sizes I'm talking about aren't even accessible through Procreate. So these are file sizes that are way beyond what Procreate could handle. Even it just doesn't let you create them. So basically, I like them for their own reasons. It does lag with bigger files once you start getting when you're doing colored works and you're getting a lot of color on there, effects. And I showed one of my illustrations yesterday, and it must have had like 75 layers, or you know, at minimum 40. It had a lot of layers, and it was a pretty big canvas. I think it was like, it wasn't huge, but I think it was like 12 point something by 9. Was it? I'm not sure. But what the? Oh. Darn it! I'm trying to see what. I'm not going to be seeing this part. Sorry, I need to focus real quick to make sure I'm getting this right. Then I'll answer the rest of that. But yeah, I like Procreate for the painting and the sketching, and I'll do inked and fully finished commissions on there for depending on the client. Because some clients they just they're not like a professional company, and if they want it super big, they should try to ask for that. Like if I'm talking about like 20 inches by 20 inches being super big. So if they want it that big, they should probably specify that, because no one just works at that normally. Most people don't, at least. But yeah, I do like normal commissions on there and stuff that I get from random people online. Because normally with a company, for example, there's this one company that, this is before I had the iPad Pro and I was working on my laptop. When they commissioned me, it was for digital works, not digital artworks, which they were, but they were for an app. So the resolution of it did not have to be big at all. It wasn't for print. And it was very small size. It was for a game. And yeah, I could have done that on Procreate easily, and I probably would have done it on Procreate too, because I can do most of the things I could do on Procreate that I could do on here, but this also has more options. It has a way better selection tool. You can add text, you can have any font you want. There's just a lot of things. But yeah, it's hard. I don't like one over the other too much. Like if I'm doing works for myself, I'll do it on Procreate. If I'm doing works for, especially since it has a recording feature, for the love of, because anything I do on there, it records it for me. So that's really cool for my YouTube channel. That's another upside to Procreate. Like if you're into that stuff, recording yourself and for YouTube channel or whatever. So that I like it for that reason as well. Art wise, they both can do the same thing with brushes. I don't know, this just has more options. Like I could not be as fast at drawing manga on there as I am on here, because first of all, I've made a panel tool for Procreate, which I have mentioned how proud I am of that. But it doesn't have, it's not geared towards manga. It is really manga or comics. It's really geared towards painting. So if you're a painter and you're not looking to make anything super high res for the really big size, you're gonna end up like in Procreate. Procreate's really cool. I like the way like the kind of ink brushes you can make on there. I like its flow. I like how there's almost zero latency delay. It's a really great app. Some people are like, "You're not using Procreate anymore." No, I'm just doing a lot of company work, so I have to use Clip Studio a lot, and this is the app to use for that. Boy, oh boy, let's. Let's see if there's any comments in here. Oh gosh, you guys in here. Let's see. Just to let everyone know that's in this chat, Vermilion Knight, if you didn't know from yesterday, he is one of the writers for this project, Ornal Tempest, and he's also one of the writers for Arms of the Dragon. He does the scripts for both. So if you're wondering where some of his comments are coming from. The monster's gonna be Miss America someday. You better believe it, man. Gosh, now you got me thinking of doing like weird, like little meme pictures with him. Trust your fate to. Let me see. I downloaded Clip Studio, but I haven't at the time. Yeah, I do really like how simplistic Procreate is. Not gonna lie, Procreate. That's one thing. That's one reason why I like practicing and doing a lot of sketches on there, especially when I just want to get in and just be like, This same thing with this. You could do that with this. I mean, it's got your files here. You could just go through and do the same thing, but I don't know. I just like how Procreate feels. It feels really natural. I used it for a long time before Clip Studio came here, so I got really used to it. It's just super intuitive, and you just get on there, do your thing. But yeah, when I'm doing something, I don't know. I do really like Procreate, and how simplistic it is. But see, this screen size for me is also nice. Like I got it set up to where I have it brushes here. So basically I have all my brushes here that I can click on, and each section has different brushes, and I would be able to click here to go through the brushes that I clicked on, and then these are the sizes and stuff. This is some editing stuff like mesh transformation, free transform, all that stuff off to the side. And then I got my layers over here that are tucked away. Yeah, it cuts away a little bit at the interface, but it's just big enough that I don't feel cramped at all. What am I? Okay, I really need to get freaking pumping on this. Most things over here aren't going to show up past these blue lines right here. Let's. one thing I can't stress enough is the freaking uh, selection tool in here. I've always loved Clip Studio's selection tool because that is one thing that pisses me off about these applications for mobile products. It's just like I don't know what they're smoking, but freaking I don't know. Their selection tools suck donkey stuff and donkey stuff. But yeah, they just blow. I hate them. Procreates is okay. I mean, it had a huge problem when I first got the iPad Pro, and it made me so mad. And I've found ways around it, but it's okay now. It's all right. I don't really use it the way I don't really use that now though. I just use the bucket tool on different layers and stuff like that to put in my flats and just use the line art as a reference layer. That's another thing that's annoying. You can't make more than one reference layer, or you can't make it where the selection tool notices all your layers as a reference layer. So that way, if you made a line on a separate layer, it would still register when you're doing the selection. I don't know. There's just some things, and like I've talked about. I really hope that with Clip Studio coming out, really pushes Procreate to do better, because Procreate has the potential to be really good. I mean, it already is really good, but I'm talking about raising the bar, which is what Clip Studio did. They actually rose the bar. They're like, we are here. And Procreate was like, ah, mother son of a. Shoot. Let me see if there's any comments while I'm talking here. Download Clip Studio, hey. Oh gosh. Great. Now I'm drawing. Now I'm going to be drawing a story about this monster running for Miss America. For those people who are watching this video after it's re-uploaded, some of the stuff I'm talking about is from the comment section that you won't be seeing when it's re-uploaded. Yeah, with changing your brush size and stuff. Yeah, I don't really do that a whole lot. A lot of mine are pretty much set sizes. Like I've said, like everyone's workflow is different and what they work on is different. So I mean, some people may like Clip Studio, some people may not. But yeah, it really depends. Like when I say I think Clip Studio is the best thing on the iPad Pro, I'm basing it overall, but something could be best for a specific person. Like if someone got the iPad Pro for typing, but they're actually, a sketcher, screw it. Like you don't even need the free program Medibang, even though it's free, because that's overkill for someone who's a sketcher. Or if you're primarily a painter, why not go for Procreate? Like there, Clip Studio is made for all of that, painting, drawing manga, and all that, but more so the fact that it is very geared towards being able to create a full manga or comic on it. And I mean, if you need to change the brush size a lot, it's not like these things can actually be taken out. That's the other thing. I mean, you could play around with this stuff and it could be taken out and the size be changed and all that stuff. So it's not like it has to be in there. You can have that wherever you want, but I'm gonna put that back in there. Oh no. Oh, good lord, where'd it go? Oh, it went back in there. That was weird. It never moved. As you can tell, I'm really skimping on this gun because it's that big. And people are going to be viewing it at most likely this size when they read it on paper. All right, so let's figure this out. Let's do the water, blood water, just to get that clear. So you're not like, that is not what water looks like, Chris. You are a horrible artist. Oh my goodness, you don't even know how to draw water. Water is really hard to draw, okay? It's very hard to draw. Oh. Oh. Some comments here so I can talk about it while I draw. Mm. Um, I don't know. Maybe can you guys not see my sketch? I mean, I do have a sketch below it. Okay, I have a sketch below it there. But I have my own pen that I didn't really like create. It's pretty much just an edited version of this pen that I'm using. Like in the beginning of this video, I actually talked about how I'm actually using this pen specifically because it's a very normal pen. I want to kind of get the point across that if someone were to get Clip Studio, this very standard G pen that they have, I'm using that right now, just to show you that you can do any of this stuff. The standard pen, you just kind of know how to use it. To have your draftsmanship up and running. And in fact, there's some upsides to this pen compared with my pen, because my pen I like having one width, but or not one width, a very small width variant with pressure. I don't want it to have too much pressure sensitivity to it, because I want to be able to quickly do straight lines without having to worry about it blowing out on me. But when I'm in control of the pen, having that confidence, having a wider width variant, higher pressure sensitivity for your pen, it helps you be able to get a lot more lines and different strokes with just one pen. That is one thing I like about using this one. Because even though it does this, I can get this one width throughout almost my whole stroke. I just gotta stay focused when doing it. See that? Even though you just gotta be able to get your draftsmanship up. Whatever I'm listening. Oh man. I think there's like, I didn't think about trying to make a shadow for this thing underneath on the water, because it seems like a pain. Only because it might blend in with the black parts of its body. But what I can do is have white parts bleed into it a little bit, because that's how water is. Let's just hope everyone knows what's going on here. See if there's any more comments. Yes. Yes, John. Of course. Yes, you actually need the best pen ever, and and the best writing tool ever, and you will automatically be a master. That is exactly how it works. This water does take a while. I said earlier, I was like, a fast way to do water. Huh. 2 hours later. Alright, I'm almost done with this water, guys. Yeah. Let me see if I want to do this or not. See that little effect I gave it? I actually don't like these hatching pens because they mess with it. It doesn't look natural. It doesn't even look like real hatches. It's just actually really annoying. But if you hatch and then you go over it to then hatch away at what you hatched, it creates this nice little effect that can give you something kind of cool. Although I bet you I can make a pen like that. See, that's where it comes in when you're an artist and you get a little bit better. It's good to learn this stuff early on, because I'm going to tell you one thing. If you think you're going to be able to learn how to draw really well, but you're telling me you don't, you just can't figure out how to create pens, it's the most ridiculous thing. Because I can tell you now, learning how to draw really well is way harder than learning how to create a pen on any of these programs, especially with tutorials on YouTube nowadays. Tutorials are everywhere, guys. Let's see if maybe I can come in here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll lock that. I'm going to test this, see if I like it. I'm doing is I'm on the actual ink layer for this panel. I'm going over it to see if I can get that same effect on the water, or on the black spots on the water, just to give it a little bit more oomph. Let's go here and make sure nothing's too close to her. That's good enough. After all, I am on a deadline. Alright, finally moving on to the second panel. Who else said that takes forever? Me. Should be going faster. I'm constantly telling myself that. Chris, you should have been doing this faster. Chris, you should have done that faster. And then when I do finally do it fast enough, I'm like, man, it looks like crap. You just gotta get faster. Gotta get faster at everything. Oh, I think my iPad kind of slipped down from these books. I'm surprised I didn't notice that. What the heck? Oh, I've been in here for an hour and 8 minutes. Jeez, people. Someone should let me know. Let me see if there's any comments. Hey, what's up, Rickney? Or I'll just say Gordon. Surprised I don't use the panel mask feature. What's that? I probably am using what you're talking about. It's just not showing. If you're talking about where I don't draw out of the lines here, or where I do this and it doesn't let you draw out of the lines, I do have the mask active. It's just not visible because I don't want it to be showing because that blue stuff is really freaking annoying. The stream probably won't be going on too much longer here. Wish I could have gotten much more done on this. Excuse me for the burp there. I did not mean to burp. Shut up, John. Oh my gosh. For those people who were watching this stream after it's re-uploaded, I mentioned a little bit earlier, but there's an ongoing joke that this series has now changed and she's no longer the main character. He's the main character, this poor, hurt monster. And he's running to be Miss America. And John just said this second panel that I'm working on here is Fiora realizing, that's her name, Fiora, realizing that she's not the main character anymore. For the love of... What has my life as a manga artist come to? In fact, I quit. I'm gone. No, I'm kidding. I couldn't quit. Plot twist in seconds. Would you name her Camellia? Camellia? Oh, gosh. Why are we calling this one a her? I guess for the love of God. So, for those of you who do watch anime out there in my crowd, which might be a lot of you, I'm not sure. Have any of you watched Darling in the Frank? I think that's how you're supposed to pronounce it, Darling in the Frank. I was pronouncing it Fran, and then Darling in the Franex, and plenty of other things. But have any of you watched that anime? It is something else, especially if you've seen the second episode. But I see it going good places. I see one thing that I might want to bring to this channel eventually is there are animes that I do want to talk about. I thought about turning or just doing portions like live streams or something of when an episode comes out. Just have a discussion, not necessarily review. I mean, discussions typically turn into a little bit of a review, anyways, because you're going over what happened in it. You're kind of reviewing the content, not rating it, but I mean, you could, whatever. I was thinking about doing a little chats about specific series while either I'm drawing something for it or um, while I'm just doing work like this because, you know, so that way I can kill two birds with one stone. Just trying to be more interactive with you guys. Of course, see, my channel is built around art, iPad Pro, stuff like that. So I don't know how much of this stuff you guys like or what you guys like. But I mean, even if you don't like it, I don't care because I hate you guys. No, no. But I mean, even if you guys didn't like a specific series I did a stream for, it could be interesting for those who did like it. So it's not like it's going to be the only streams I do. Although I need to start keeping them down to a maximum of 50 minutes. Because that's kind of a sweet spot. Actually, a good sweet spot is 40 minutes. That's a good sweet spot for a stream. Someone will sit there and watch a 40-minute stream if they're interested in what you're doing. An hour and something stream, even if I'm really interested, I start getting antsy at a certain point and may never even finish the stream ever unless it's really, really interesting to me, like something about Kishimoto or something. But yeah, I don't know. I should really start trying to keep them. I might do another stream tomorrow. Not sure. I might actually bring a topic along with me to talk about while I'm doing this stuff. So that way, since I don't know what to do about music for now, without getting copyrighted up the butt, being able to talk about something while I do this would be nice. And a manga I'm going to start studying is Akira. I'm going to start studying Akira because he is one of the masters. He is who inspired my favorite mangaka, Kishimoto. Speaking of which, calling you out, Kishimoto, where the heck is your new manga? He was talking it up, not too long ago. Now where is he? Huh, Kishimoto? Where are you at? I'm looking forward to this. I hear some people be like, oh, I love your style, man. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of my own style. Almost never satisfied with any of this crap I'm doing. There's only a few things I'm satisfied with. Alright, done with that panel. And hope you guys are interested when I start screen toning this stuff. I'll definitely try to do some streams there as well. There it is. See if there's any questions or anything up here. The stream. It's that show about hot dogs. What? If you're still here, yes, this is Clip Studio. You didn't. If you're talking about what I'm talking, oh yeah, you probably are. Yeah, Darling and the Frank is out. It's on Crunchyroll. I don't know if it's on anything else. My 5-hour stream on this one panel. Yeah, that's what it feels like, right? Levius? I've heard of that manga, but no, I wasn't talking about Levius. That manga looks pretty dope. But no, I wasn't talking about Levius. I'm talking about Darling in the Franks. Frank. And Frank, the way they spell it is FRANXX. It's a mech series made by Studio Trigger. And the thing is freaking crazy. In fact, maybe tomorrow will be a manga discussion of some sort. I mean, the thing is, I could start doing a lot of streams trying to bring in different topics on each stream while I'm doing something. So there'll be a little something for everybody. Tutorial streams, like I said, actual talking about anime and manga streams, talking about the industry, talking about anything new, stuff like that, you know? It's fun stuff. Although, I do wish maybe one day I can get some people up in here other than myself. Oh, there it happened again. My iPad is slipping down these books I got here. But for those people who are still probably almost nobody at the end of this video for when it's re-uploaded, because this thing is so long, if you did make it to the end, let me know if you made it to the end, because I'll know. Comment in the section to let me know if you actually made it to the end of this video. If I don't get any comments saying yes, then I will know how. Not the stream, even though I guess you could say that. That'd be cool to know if you're here for the whole stream, but mostly for the re-upload, I'm curious to see how many people watch how much of these streams after it's re-uploaded, because views don't really count how much of the stream they watch. I mean, I guess I could look at the watch time on it with analytics and stuff. Then I would only have to, I could only guess an average, which would still be better than not knowing anything, so. Because I don't want to do something that people don't like. I mean, I don't really care what people think, but I mean, if I'm just doing something that's stupid, then there's no point in doing it. When I'm pretty sure, like, basically with the content that I have, I'm saying, because technically I could actually record everything I'm doing right now and have it in a speed video instead of a live stream. But I could actually have the best of both worlds, like I've said in one of my other live streams, where I can actually download this video I'm doing right now, this live stream, and then turn it into a time-lapse version, so other people can see this without having to watch the whole stream. So I'm going to be doing that. I actually have another video that at some point I might just throw some music on, put it up. I also have, if you guys have watched Devilman Crybaby, let me know if you guys have, by the way. I didn't really want to post it because it's not really that big, or it's not really that good. But I did this Devilman Crybaby quick little fan art thing. But yeah, and I have the video process. This is why I love Procreate, because it records everything I do. Voila. But yeah. Also, I was planning on coloring this Luffy eventually. See, I still use Procreate. I did this for John, the writer for these series. Oh, by the way, that's for his original manga. Now I'm just getting into some weird stuff. Also, I need to finish this one. Still in rendering. Anyways, I am about to finish this stream. This stream is freaking long as hell. All right. I think that's about all. Let me take these headphones off. I'm going to look at some of these comments, see if there's anything good before I go. Or anything good. Got to get some books from Studio Trigger. I'm not sure if they have books or not. Maybe they do. I don't know. I mean, Studio Trigger does anime. They did Lock Hill and some other stuff. Darling in the Frank, son of a, and yeah, some other stuff. I'm very. Make it look more like a pencil in Medibang. Well, just when I look at some other comments, I'll go there real quick. I actually made, the thing is, the pencil in there doesn't really look like a pencil to begin with, so it doesn't look like a real pencil. So here's the thing. I haven't been on here in so long. Okay. It's not on this one. There's a way to see like this acrylic. There's a way to make this acrylic to mess with it, and pretty much the pencil tool is not going to feel like a pencil tool, basically. The best way to try to mess around with this, like get something that feels more like a pencil, is to mess around with the spacing of these types of things, and see, like I just messed around with that, and it looks a little bit more like a pencil, right? Bam. Yeah. So the pencil tool is going to look very digital on here. But yeah. Yeah, I'm here, but I just. Well, don't worry. This stream's going to be re-uploaded, so you can watch it then. You know, maybe listen to some music, listen to me ramble. Same. Hello there, Queen. All right. Well, I'm gonna be going here. This video will probably be re-uploaded in about like 2 or 3 minutes. But yeah, I'll probably see you guys tomorrow or the next day. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day. If you want to see more of the stuff that I'm doing, maybe even more process photos later on, check me out on my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I've been most active on my Instagram lately. So anyways, guys, if you're new to this channel, if you're new to this stream, if you saw the stream, if you saw this video afterwards, please subscribe, and because I'm going to be doing a lot more. See you guys next time.